one of the things I don't like about custom GPTs, and for those of you that don't know this yet, I'm going to share this with you. If I open up one of my custom, and I have things collapsed over here right now, but if I open up my GPTs, the ones that I have in the sidebar, by the way, if you want to save a chat, I'm going to click on one of my chats. And if you want to save it to the sidebar, right now it says hide from the sidebar because it's in the sidebar. There would be a message in there, save to the sidebar. That way it's pinned to your left-hand side over here. But if I'm in one of these, let me pick one here. Alex Hermose. Let's have a conversation with Alex. What are 4 types of offers? So Alex is going to walk me through this. Now, every time I have a conversation with the custom chat, it starts fresh, just like it just did. Where this goes, in case you don't know, it's down here on the sidebar where my other chats are. Most of you are familiar with this already. But if I have a deep conversation right now that goes pretty long, 15, 20 minutes, numerous pages, if they were printed on paper long, this chat disappears and goes away. It goes down here on the left-hand side. I don't love that. I can't add it to a project. I can't do anything with it other than let it go away. I can copy and paste it into something else and save it elsewhere. We'll talk about that in a moment. But if I'm talking to a custom GPT, the conversation goes to the left-hand side and eventually goes down by the wayside. I can search for it and possibly find it if I have a keyword, but it's more work than it's worth. That's the one thing I don't love about talking through ChatGPT. The positive, as we've already talked about, I can share a custom GPT with anybody. That's how you all have the link to my Ed Milet. So that's really important too. What's the in-between is for me is projects, right? So developing a project, and a project is where I put in the same custom instructions, which is the job description. I put in the same brain, which is the resources. And now I have numerous conversations within that project. So this is my brand guardian. You can see that behind the scenes, and we'll talk about what that looks like. Its resources is 40 files. It's the max number of files that you can have. So it knows my colors. It has screenshots of my website content. It has transcripts from meetings like this, so it knows my tone. It knows how I chat. It knows my demeanor. It knows my values. It knows all of that. It knows our colors. It knows what our mission is. It knows our core values. It knows all of that as part of its resources. So each one of these is a different chat on different, this is where Elizabeth will get our email drips that you're receiving. This is where we'll get a landing page that we want to build. This is things that I can refer back to over and over and over again. We can see who initiated the chat. This is my team that's on here. And we can literally go through this and find very easily some past chats. Can't do that with custom GPTs. That's the difference. Okay. And the other difference is I can't share this. I couldn't share any of these conversations with you very easily. It does say share up here, but literally you'll see the one conversation that I share with you. Okay. And this is really for team members, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I would be inviting a team member in. So that's the main difference here. So the sidebar, I have my GPTs closed now, projects closed now, chats closed now. For those of you that don't know, this is your app connector. Play with it, go in, and then the codex. This is where the chats are now. So it's changing every day. Things are changing, guys. Every single day. I used to have a smorgasbord of different things that I could choose from in here. They're calling it apps now. So just continue to be in this. One of my encouragements is every single day, you want to be in this for 5 to 20 to 60 minutes a day, and not just chat, but every platform. And while we're talking about the differences, let's look at Claude for just a moment. I'm in the Learning Accelerator where I was a moment ago. Now this is a project just like my brand guardian that I showed you over there. Here's what I like about this one though. I like this a lot, is the things that I have loaded, I can see what they are without clicking the icon and going behind the scenes. When I was in chat a moment ago, for me to go in and see what those are, I've got to go, let's go back to my projects. Let's go back to my brand guardian. For me to see what the resources are, I have to click them and scroll through them, as compared to Claude, where I can see what they are. I can also see that even with all of this uploaded, I've got 1% of the capacity used, 1%. Custom instructions are put in here. And here's another significant difference for those of us that, if you think this through, everything that goes into ChatGPT has got to be a document. I have to copy and paste text onto a Word doc, save it somewhere, whether it be Notion, whether it be Google Drive, whether it be Dropbox, and then upload that document to Chat for it to be one of these resources. In Claude, I don't. In Claude, if I click new here and I want to just add some text, I can add the title, paste in text, done. It's going to look just like one of these squares over here. So that is a beautiful thing. When it comes to, tiebreakers, to me, that's a tiebreaker. That's that, and I love the way Claude looks. I love its output. So I lean towards Claude more. Drawback, I can't share anything on Claude unless you have it, unless you're a team member and I have a team account, which currently I don't. I can't share anything on Claude. So that is a drawback. I mean, that, and again, I suspect that will change in the very near future, the way things are evolving so quickly. So I forget where I was in the curriculum, but we were on prompt. Yep. Oh yeah, being nice. We talked about that. Make it 3 times longer. Make sure you're talking it through. Give AI the real mess, the whole thing, and then make AI your first call. Before texting someone, before Googling, before panicking, hop in AI, pick the right project that you've already begun. And then here's some hacks for advanced users, guys. Chain of thought prompting. I've given you some examples in here. Why? Instead of jumping straight to an answer, tell AI, think it step by step. Break down the problem into intermediate reasoning steps. Why? This mimics human problem solving, right? And it helps performance. Add your request, explain your reasoning step by step before giving the final answer. I mentioned this earlier. And then really core of truth, right? Here's a prompt for you, an example prompt that you can use. And here's an additional add to that, explain your reasoning step by step. And then tree of thought, again, you can do the same exact thing, walk it through and give me the decision tree of how you came up with this. I put a James Clear prompt in here for you, and you can generate 3 possible morning routines. And there's 2 different ways to do it here. They're both asking James Clear from Atomic Habits, 2 different ways to handle this. So again, this will be part of your class notes. Cool. Any questions about that before we move on to exercise? Because I have a question for all of you. I put together 2 different exercises that I want to give you guys the opportunity to decide which one we're going to do. And I'm going to need you. This is audience participation time, guys. So put in the chat what your answer is. We can either build and think like Ed Milet, Custom GPT, or we can build a learning accelerator, which I want to share that. I'll share that with you again and show you what that does. So you guys can have your own of either one. Right now you have my Think Like Ed, but this is my learning accelerator. And I have all these resources ready for you to build, and I want you to learn how to build. So somebody tell me a book that they recently read. Come on, guys.
The Who Not How.
There you go. That is a good book. Thank you. I would really love to go deep on who, not how. Could you, number 1, confirm you're familiar with that book, which I know you are. Number 2, can you run the read a book in 10-minute prompt with me? And let's go through it and let's kind of take it step by step. So this is, I don't know about you, but I'm at a lot of podcasts. I'm in a lot of classes. I'm in a lot of YouTube videos. I'm doing learning on the fly. What I keep of that is probably 10 to 15%. This is a tool where when I sit down with a book and I start going through this and go through the tasks that it has me do, it makes it stick. It pulls out the points of the book. It walks through what Dan Sullivan wants to teach me. It gives me the introduction. It's going to go pretty deep right now, without me doing anything other than you saw the prompt on this was very small because the brain is there, because the job description is there. I don't have to do anything. It's all already been done because this is the custom project that walks you through that. So we can build this real easily together. And will you put, or we can build the Think Like Ed Milet. Is going to teach you how to do it to think like blank, whoever you want to be your thought leader that you build it for in the future. Which would you guys prefer? I'm going to go with the majority here.
Looks like everyone picked the learning accelerator.
Well, there you go. That's easy. Will you put the link to those resources in the
Yes.
in the chat, please? Thank you so much. Awesome. So I saw your note on here about Claude powering Alexa. Claude is getting in cahoots with many. Excel is one of them. Google is another, because right now, as an extension on your Chrome, you can now have a free Claude extension that will clean up your emails, guys. I'm just experimenting with it. It's for a week or two from now as I get some more knowledge with it. I'll also do a short video and put it up in the school as well as I learn on that one, because I think that one's phenomenal.
Are your million-dollar ideas disappearing into the digital void? You need a system that actually works. Rob constantly tests the latest tools so you don't waste time. Get Rob's exact workflows and master them for your business inside the AI Clarity course. Click the link in the description to get started.